Legends, welcome back to another episode of the Ruck Infringement Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Joey, and this is episode 109, Upside Down. Joining me, the boys are back. Let's start off with the international cricket sensation, Harry Smith. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right until you just butchered my name. But yeah, no, I'm all right. Watched some great footy this weekend and yeah, always a pleasure to be here.
I'm sorry, mate. I just forgot who you were for a brief moment, but that's okay.
How dare you?
I know. How could I? And all the way back from Thailand, we haven't seen you since then, mate. The stats man, Luke Phillips. How are you, buddy?
Good, mate. Just been very busy. Getting back into normal life.
Yes, very good.
Just everything catching up to me. Got to do a lot of things, so.
Love it. Do you want to give a quick shout out about Thailand and how the cricket went?
I think Harry spoke pretty well.
He did.
About it, but you know we managed to come away with the silverware once again. We had a bowler in the top 10 bowlers for the week. We had a batter in the top 10 batters for the week.
Wow.
Harry coming away with not only player of the finals, but he was up there, I think, in the top 5 for best wickets for best figures for the week.
Well done.
So yeah, no, just all in all, a fantastic trip, and just can't speak highly enough of it. So. That highly of it anyway.
Yeah,
it's just
love it.
So much fun.
And the stories of Harry we'll tell off air because they're not appropriate for a podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Love it. All right, boys. We're going to get into a bit of stats, mate. Now, we haven't seen you for a while. Do you have any stats for us for round 10?
No, not written down.
No, that's
but,
all right.
We can
go through a couple of the games anyway.
Yeah.
There was some pretty crazy games. Some stats I've got for us were how some teams can't finish off second halves. And that was just wild this week. But 3 teams in a row.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But yeah. Mate.
We had the Dolphins getting it done at 20-16 over the Eels. The Titans getting it done 24-20 over the Knights.
Yep.
The Rabbitohs beating the Broncos 22-14. The Doggies coming back 32-20 over the Raiders. Warriors getting done 15-14 over the Dragons. First draw of 2025 between the Cowboys and the Panthers, 30-all. We'll skip the next game. The Melbourne Storm getting it done 64-0 over the West Tigers. And lastly, the Sharks getting it done 30-14 over the Manly Sea Eagles, and the Roosters securing the easiest 2 points they'll ever get.
Yeah, thank God. Mate, what a week of footy, though. Those first couple of games you spoke about, the first one, Knights up 20-0 against the Titans at halftime. Mm-hmm. Titans win that 24-20. I mean, I don't know if that's embarrassing for Newcastle or credit to the Titans. What do you reckon?
Adam O'Brien, first coach sacked this year.
Gone. Yep. 4 weeks ago, and I think it's coming. Yeah. I really do. The Knights need something at the moment, and it's not O'Brien, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk about possibly Brad Arthur taking it, but he's also linked to the Bears job.
Yep.
Papua New Guinea's still on the table, so we just don't know where he's going to end up. But I'm definitely seeing Brad Arthur leading a team sometime very soon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Matt Arthur does play at the Knights, so good chance that Brad Arthur does end up there. And then the next game, Broncos were up 14-0. And they lost that. So it's just crazy. But that game was all about Latrell Mitchell and that 50-metre 2-point field goal.
48. Don't give him too much.
Yeah, sorry. No, mate, you know me. I don't like to give him too much. But what a kick. What a kick. He kicks it. He turns around, doesn't even watch it go through and just walks back.
I think it's his sixth field goal that he's kicked outside the 40-metre line.
I'm not surprised.
He's got a massive boot on him, and when he wants to hit it, he hits it well. Yeah,
and he did that. What did you guys think of the try at the end? Fair play?
Well,
it helped my multi, so
he didn't ground the ball.
No, that's right.
In the tackle.
Yeah.
So technically, he never surrendered. However,
to the whistle.
He did kneel, which means I think the ref could have had every right to penalise him for surrendering a tackle.
100%.
But he also never grounded the ball, so...
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's, if you look at NFL, we know, like, when a quarterback kneels, that's the end of the down there. So, I mean, obviously we're not the same as NFL, but I think if we're basing it on that, we've seen those over the years. There's been a few little sneaky tries.
Joey Manu did it against the Dragons with last year, I think it was.
2023.
2023 with his hamstring. He pretended he had a sore hamstring and then went over and scored.
And then he ran and then just ran straight through him. Yeah, it was really interesting. I think play on. I think if you're playing to the whistle and the ref hasn't called it and Cobbo's not aware, then unfortunately...
Well, it wasn't just Cobbo, though. The whole Brisbane line walked off the line.
Yeah, exactly.
And but at the end of the day, the game was over.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
if they did penalise him, Brisbane kick it from the try line.
Yeah,
They get
probably
one
not.
tackle.
Yeah.
Game over anyway.
Probably not scoring.
Exactly.
And then the third one, Raiders up 20-0 at half time. The Dogs, an incredible comeback there, 32-20. Boys, my tipping was shocking this week, 3 from 8, and only because of those 3 games. I took the Titans. I took the Titans to beat the Knights, which was fantastic. But then all my other teams either were leading and lost, or it was a draw, or they lost by a point.
Yeah, that's just typical footy, innit? Like, I think I got 4 from 8. So
It's a crazy week.
it's just so hard to pick teams this year
this
too.
year.
Like,
This year for tipping is absolutely atrocious. I don't think I've seen a year where we're at round 10 and we still can't decide who's going to win each week.
yeah, exactly. It's
Crazy.
Just, it's just weird.
We spoke off air. Luke, you weren't here at the time, but I was saying that the Roosters are sitting 9th, right? We're 1 win away from being 5th. That's how tight the comp is.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
1 win away from being 5th. Penrith are 1 win away from being 9th. Like, it's just, it's
ridiculous.
crazy at the moment. I can't believe it. It's good to have a tight comp, though. I'd rather that than, a blowout in the top 8. But look, it's still anyone's game, round 10. Look, let's jump into a bit of Dynamos and Dungs. Some players we thought were really good, some players we thought weren't so great for this round. We'll go easy on Luke, all right, during this segment. All right, Harry?
Yeah.
Nah, do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've lost
I
hope.
am. I'm going easy on you anyway, mate. Let's start off with you, international cricket sensation. Who's your Dynamo and Dung for round 10?
My Dynamo is just the whole Melbourne team in general. Like, I'm sorry, Luke, but it turned out to be playing
I'm
touch
sitting in the
like,
middle.
like touch footy for them at one stage. Like, they were just doing the most extravagant shit in the second half.
Yeah, get him, thong him.
Come on, you're thinking it too, Luke. Don't deny it.
He was crying.
I had my eyes closed in
He
the
wasn't
second 40.
thinking anything.
I think like you got to give props to Melbourne.
Yeah,
Like,
look, they came out hard. They came out very strong.
yeah, 34 points in the first half, 30 in the second. Like,
Yeah, so they were shit in the second half.
exactly. You stopped them from doubling their score in the first half. So,
There you go.
and my Dung, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
I'm not going to choose the Tigers. I'm leaving
it
them
anyway.
out of it.
Do it.
I'm actually picking the Knights. I'm picking the Knights.
Yep.
Like we were speaking about, 20-0 up at halftime.
Yep.
And then just choke the shit out of the game. Like I could have given it to Raiders, but
Also, the Knights, after a great win last week, like they beat the Bunnies 30-4.
yeah, and then they go out and do this shit.
That,
Like-
it's just appalling from Newcastle, mate. Great shouts. Lukey, Dynamos and Dungs for round 10.
All right, I've got 2 for each.
Beautiful.
Because
Love
I
it.
think they have to be shared. But my first one, Harry Grant, tapping on the window, telling Bellamy to smile. I thought he was the best this week.
I was thinking, hang on, Harry Grant didn't play yet. That's
Yeah.
great. I love it. I love it.
That was the best thing I watched all week, even though my team lost. I still think that was the best thing. But then on the field, I reckon Stephen Crichton.
Oh, yeah.
That one arm, hold the ball up above his head with one hand, fends off another player, and then runs through and scores a try.
Incredible.
There's been a lot of, as we get into Origin period coming up, I've seen a lot of different journos and media put their team in, and half of them are saying put Crichton in, and half of them are not. I don't see how you couldn't.
He's got to be there.
This year, not only as he captaining a team, just like right now, he's the most informed center.
Yeah,
so he
for
cannot
sure.
be
For sure.
cannot not be there.
Yeah.
Just Stephen Crichton, Dynamo this week. My on-field dung. Yeah, well, I can name 17 of them. Right, it was by far easily the West Tigers, the Raiders, the Knights, Broncos. There was just too many, but you can't go past the Tigers. They were just woeful. But I do think that we were going up against a strong team.
That's right.
I never expected that scoreline. We just were not prepared.
I don't think it would have mattered who played Melbourne, though, this week. I think Melbourne were coming out. They were in a mood. Melbourne were in a
absolutely.
mood. They were going to put a score on anybody.
They lost Golden Point last
That's
week.
right,
so,
yeah. So they were hungry.
You know what? If we lost by 10, 16, I'd be sad but not disappointed. I was
course.
just solely disappointed with my team's effort this week.
Yeah.
We weren't even there. We weren't even there from that first try. We just were not on the field. Our heads were elsewhere. So And it's not the Tigers that we've seen this year.
No, definitely not.
So definitely that. But off the field dung, and it's still Tigers related, Martin Luai.
Yeah,
So not sure if you saw it in the media.
sure did.
Yeah.
But Jerome Luai's dad put on Instagram, get out clause activated.
So stupid.
Your son is doing the best he can at the moment and has already, like starting last week, we were 9th.
Yeah.
Now we're, 8th. Now we're 10th.
Yeah.
We are still nowhere near the bottom of the ladder. So look how far that team has come. Look how much influence your son has had. One bad game, like one shocking game, and you put that on your social media. You have just sent so many Tigers fans' heads spiraling because of one shocker.
And not even that, he's opened that up for journalists as well. Journalists
Exactly.
love a story like
Journos
that.
are going to just target Luai now, and then he's going
absolutely.
to turn around and say, "Stop targeting my son."
Yeah, that's right.
You've invited them in.
Yeah.
Like that's just pointless, and I just don't agree. Not only do I not agree with what he's done,
Yeah.
but I don't agree with like even thinking that Luai wants out
Yeah.
because this whole season he's said up there, I'm here to prove something to myself, and the way we are playing, like I'm pretty sure that's actually like his words. He said, I'm not here to prove anything to anyone other than myself, and I'm here to help this team. And he's done that, and he's continuing to do that.
I think it comes back to these contracts that have all these clauses. I think they need to just get rid of these clauses in these contracts because they just seem to be causing more trouble than what they're worth.
Get them out of the contracts, and if someone wants out early, you say fine, but that's when your pay stops.
That's it.
Like,
Yep,
yep,
exactly.
you're gone here, and you're not paid a single
100%.
dollar. And if you want to leave midway through the season, and you like that's exactly what you want, right? You're done. No other club can sign you until next year, which means
Yeah.
if you've signed a 4-year deal and after the second year you want out, if no one signs you in that third year, you don't play football that year. And then if by the 4th year you're still not on contract, or you still contracted someone else, they're not paying you. If then someone goes, "Yep, I'll pay you," that's when you can sign a new contract and start getting paid again. If you want to leave, leave, but don't. Why is so many clubs paying players who are sitting on the sideline doing nothing because they don't want to play for that club?
I agree.
It's ridiculous.
I completely agree with you, mate. Yeah, look, it's a fantastic shout. Marty Luai, do better. Of course, Luai's a massive listener of our show, of course. Number one fan.
Oh, yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
Ever worn sunnies but realised you have to take them off on the job site to change into something more safer? Well, now with Stay Fancy Eyewear, you can get some awesome safety glasses that look good and protect you from the harsh rays of the sun. With a variety of styles to choose from, Stay Fancy has all your eyewear needs sorted. Use the code RUCK10 for 10% off today. Stay Fancy Eyewear, protecting you from the nasties on the job site and looking good while doing it.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
Dynamos and dunks for me, boys. Dynamos, a few from this week. Look, I could go Latrell. I could go Fletcher Sharp from the Knights, who looked incredible again. I'm going to narrow it down to Ryan Pappenhausen. 4 tries. I think he's really, really firming for an Origin jersey. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does get a spot. It'd be great to see. I thought he was really good in that game. 4 tries is electrifying. Doesn't matter who you're playing. It's fantastic. But my dung boys, the Broncos. Now, the reason for this, they lost last week to Penrith, and this was the sort of game that you need to come back in. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You need to come back strong. You need to say, okay, we are a premiership threat. And they didn't show that at all. They were up 14-0, and they just that was it. And then it was like they just took their foot off the accelerator, and they lost. And they should have lost because that second half was appalling from the Bronx. So I've got them as my dung for this week just because I think they need to do better. Start of the season, I had them finishing 3rd, but I just don't know anymore. Just don't know where they're going to be with how they're playing. So, not great for them. But that's it for Dynamos and Dungs, boys. He's been doing it all games for our suspension segment. Not much suspension-wise, but injury-wise this week, Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
Massive one. Gone for the Bronx. Looks like he won't play for Queensland this season.
I don't think he was going to get selected for Queensland in the first place.
Yeah, maybe at like a 14, but look, it puts pressure on Reid Marnie probably to get that spot now, I would say, or a Kurt Mann even as a 14 there for Queensland. Not that we really care. But Ben Hunt gone for, did they say it was 6 months? Is he gone for the rest of the
6
year?
weeks.
6 weeks.
6
Oh, sorry.
weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. So opens the door for Ezra Mam.
If Queensland's electing, they are opening a whole can of whoop ass on their sides because
Yep.
9 weeks of suspension and first game in Queensland Cup, head high tackle, he's on report.
Yep.
He's got to face the judiciary. He could be suspended again.
Exactly. But I reckon if he gets through that suspension, I reckon Brisbane will name him this week. Of course, time of recording Monday night, so we'll find out tomorrow night. Team West Tuesday, but interesting stuff there for the Bronx. That was a major injury there. There wasn't too much this week, which was great to see. It's good to see a pretty injury-free week. Of course, Preston still serving that 4-week suspension for apparently crusher tackle in that game, which wasn't that bad at all. So he'll probably miss Origin selection too. He might have been a bit of a smoky.
Yeah.
Boys, we're going to jump into my favourite segment, the Harry M's. Hit us, mate.
All right. Harry M's for this week.
See if we get any doubles.
So my 3 for this week, it's pretty obvious he was going to be Ryan Pappenhausen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like we've said, 4 tries. I think he tied the most points.
36 points in a game.
36 points in a game. I think he's...
In the modern era.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I heard something about the NRL era or something. So, yeah, he's well-deserving of the 3. My 2, I've gone Luke Metcalf.
Oh, I like it.
He played really well in the Wars Dragons game. He really stepped up, getting over for a pie, kicking the winning field goal. You can't go past that. And my 1 is a new one. Blaze Tulagi.
Oh, wow.
He had it ended up in a draw, but he had an absolute cracker of a game, 4 try assists, getting over himself. He was just everywhere on the field.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was well deserving.
The sort of performance he needs to, especially coming into Origin period with Cleary going to be out and a lot of those Panther boys out. We need Blaze. If you are a Panther fan, you need Blaze to be standing up and leading like that. So it'd be good to see if he can. He had a great game. So, mate, fantastic. Of course, the Harry M's, always good.
Yep.
We love it.
Luke Metcalf is actually the double this week. So.
Wow, there we go. Luke Metcalf might be the leader.
He's actually tied.
He's tied to it. Of course he is.
I'm trying to
Cleary.
think.
Cleary got a double?
No, he's tied with Payne Haas, both on 5 points.
Oh, wow.
Pain in the Haas.
Yeah.
Pain in my house. Boys, Wild Fantasies now Supercoach for this week. I had a great week last week. I got 14,070 and I thought, what a great week. And then people were getting 1,600 and 1,700.
Don't you mean 1,400?
Yeah,
or
sorry,
14,000?
not 1,000. Yeah, 1,400. And then others were getting 1,600, 1,700. This week I only got 1,170, so a bit less this week. A few of my Rooster boys, of course, just on my bench because they did not play. But Supercoach-wise, ranking went back down to 33,000. I was at 29,000. Wasn't too bad, but now it's sort of blown out a little bit. But, now I'm just playing for the fun of Supercoach. Fantasy, on the other hand, doing really well. I'm ranked in the 5,000s in NRL Fantasy, which is great. So, team going well there. Trades on my mind this week. Look, I've really got to start Origin planning now. So a lot of my Origin players are going to have to go for a little bit and then bring them back later in the season. So probably looking at Payne Haas as a trade soon. I might give him this game because I think he's going to go to town this week. But I'll be looking probably trading out him very shortly. Dylan Lucas I brought in. Fantastic addition to my team. He scored 90. I think it was 98 in Supercoach and a 90-odd in Fantasy as well. So Latrell's an interesting one. Of course, Origin probably for Latrell, so I wouldn't bring him in yet, but for the run home, he's going to be a great buy. But don't forget, if you are in our comps, make sure you are competing because SC Rings, our awesome sponsor, have some great prizes up for grabs. 2 massive championship rings in Fantasy and Supercoach. How'd you go, Lukey?
In Supercoach?
Yeah.
You know how you said you reached 1,600? I didn't even reach 4 figures.
Don't worry, I didn't either.
I had a shocker. But I did. The only benefit was one of the teachers at work did come over and say to me, do you play? And I said, I do. But
I have a team.
I pick a team and I never change it for 4 weeks. He said, me too. And then we put a carton of beer on whoever has the most points at the end of the year.
Oh, nice.
But I think he flogged me this week. So it looks like I'll be buying a carton of beer.
Well, that's fine. Harry, how did you go?
Like Luke, I didn't even reach 4 figures. Stupidly, I think my reserves let me down, actually. I forgot to put a...
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? You don't know who to sit, who to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even play Bronson Garlic, and he got 95.
Yeah, I mean, to your credit, he hasn't been the starting hooker all year.
Montoya got 65.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's just shit all around. Really, if Jordan Ricky's 62, like
So as you can see, we're not experts. So if you are in our Supercoach comp, you have a great chance at winning SC Championship rings, which are fantastic rings. They look like your Super Bowl rings that the NFL players get. They say NRL Fantasy, NRL Supercoach 2025 champions on them. So check out SC Rings today. Go and visit them. They are an awesome company providing the best quality rings. All right, we're going to jump into our next part of the segment. It's the ladder update quickly. So Storm back into first spot, which of course is no surprise. With
Nope.
that, with that
Incorrect.
win.
Incorrect.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, the Doggies are
Doggies are still
first, 18 points outright. So they're first outright, which is great. Warriors into second on 16, Storm third, and then Raiders fourth. What a weird top four. Whoever thought we would see Bulldogs, Warriors, and Raiders in the top four? I don't think any of us had that top four this year so far. Sharks, Cowboys, Broncos, and Seagulls round out the rest of the top 8. Heading into the bottom 8, we got the Roosters at 9, Tigers 10, Rabbits 11, Dolphins 12, Dragons 13th, Knights 14th, Titans 15th, Panthers 16th, and the lowly Eels on 17th, which at the moment, if we're looking at our bold predictions from the start of the year, Luke is on with the Wooden Spooners. Being Parramatta at the oh, sorry, was that you that said?
no,
I said
I had
Cowboys.
the
It
Cowboys.
was me.
Yeah,
You said Cowboys, he said Eels, I said Warriors. I'm completely wrong at the moment for Wooden Spooners.
But it's like you said earlier, Joey. Position 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11,
Yeah.
all one win away from 5th.
Exactly. It's crazy.
So I reckon
With results this week, you never know. Well, it's funny. Tigers were 9th and Roosters were 10th heading into this week off the bye, right? With the bye. We didn't play a game, but because of the score in that game, the Roosters moved up.
exactly.
So you don't know what's going to happen.
It's good news for Harry because if the Knights and the Titans both lose this week, he has the bye. So he'll go from 16th all the way to 14th.
Yes,
And,
perfect.
and outright 14th.
the Panthers are starting their ascent
And
to the top 8.
if the Dolphins lose, they could go as high as 13th.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, we'll get into our tips later.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could be sitting as high as 13th after this round.
and we take it. We very much take that.
Oh, absolutely, you take it, mate. Look, let's jump into now the Profits preview. Round 11, going to be a fantastic week of rugby league. If you are tuning in for the first time, we will tell you who we're going to tip for the week, a margin and some anytime try scorers. So let's get into it. Friday night footy on Thursday night is State of Origin.
Yeah, women's State of Origin.
Let's start off with that. So the Women's State of Origin game 2, of course, New South Wales winning the first game. Boys and New South Wales going to do it again?
Yes.
Yep.
Easily.
Yeah, considering that Queensland didn't even change any of their squad, they're still running with the same team that got flogged in the first game. I think it's going to be even worse this game.
Yeah, love it. I'm going New South Wales as well. I think we're all the same across the park, but let's jump into Friday night footy. The Knights v the Eels. Boys, what a game this is. Hey, cellar dwellers. Harry, let's start off with you. Who you got?
I'm going Knights. I'm going the Knights. Surely, it's a home game for them. Surely they got to turn up for their fans for once.
It was a home game against the Titans too.
Yeah, look, we know that, but Parramatta, I tipped them against the Dolphins last week and they shat the bed. So, yeah, I'm going Knights by 2. I got it in a close game. In terms of try scorers, Ponga and Adokar.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that was the other injury this week, boys. Marju, 4 weeks for the Knights, so he'll be on the sidelines for an extended period. Luke, who you got in this game?
We've got the River Slugs.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
I thought they had a lot of errors last week, but they played really strong footy. And I think if they can just put on 10 extra minutes of football, I reckon they'll get the job done this week.
Yeah.
In terms of try scorers, I'm going to back Mitchy Moses. Across the line.
I
I
like
mean, he's
it.
too busy complaining to the refs every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what? I reckon
Taking Gutho's role.
he'll just distract them long enough to score a try. So
Beautiful. Well, I'm on the Eels as well. I think they do get it done. I can't tip the Knights until they pick the best halfback in their club, which is Jackson Hastings, who is still not getting selected. So until that happens, I'm going to back the Eels in this one. Slugs by 6 for me, 1 try in it. A couple of try scorers. I actually like Katoga this week. I think their edges are going to be very, very light on. He's probably coming up against either Lucas or Kai Pearce-Ball. I think he can get over the line. So we get Katoga. And on the other side, I'll go Lucas to score as well.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
Have you ever wanted a snack but nothing seems to fill you up? Well, try Gibson Country Style Jerky today. With a variety of flavours, including teriyaki, honey soy and garlic, and pepper steak. Gibson's is the best jerky to satisfy those snack cravings. And now, if you use the code podcast, you'll get 10% off. Check them out on social media today or go to gibsoncountrystylejerky.com.au. Need to trim those hedges? Need to cut that grass but unsure how? Well, visit Koala Mowers today for all your lawn care needs. From mowers to whippersnippers and blowers too, Koala Mowers has you covered from the front yard to the back. Check them out on social media today or head over to Corrine Avenue and view their wide range in store. Koala Mowers, making lawn care easy without the hassle of having the correct qualifications.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
Let's jump into our second Friday night game. Game of the round, Dogs v Roosters. Going to be a fantastic one here at Accor Stadium. Dogs at $1.37. Chooks juicy at $3.11. Luke, who you got?
Got the Dogs just because of their form.
Of course.
But I don't. I reckon this could be a golden point game. A golden point game this week.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a golden point game, it'll be the Dogs versus the Roosters. If it goes to golden point, I think the Roosters might pull it off. But if the Dogs can play how they've been playing, I just like they've just been hitting the line and scoring quickly, and teams are finding it difficult to come back to it.
Oh yeah.
So if they can do that like they have been doing, I reckon the Dogs will seal it.
If they can score 32 points in one half, that scares me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I reckon the Doggies, but I reckon this could be a close match.
Yeah, very nice. Harry?
Now, I know that you like to go 13 plus with every Roosters game. So with that, keep that in mind. I'm going Doggies 13 plus. In terms of try scorers, I got Critter for a double.
Ooh.
And your boy Nwakani Tawaze.
I was like, come on, say his name.
I've got him for a double as well.
Wow. Love a bit of Marky Mark.
Yep.
That's juicy, mate. Of course, Roosters for me. I think they get it done quite convincingly in this game.
13 plus.
Dogs are number one, but the Roosters 2 wins in a row off a bye. Look, they're looking good. I won't go 13 plus. I'm not stupid. I'll go Roosters 1 to 12.
I was going to say,
12 plus.
I was going to say, good thing that we're sitting down because every week. 13
Roosters
plus.
12.5 at the line. I'll back the Chooks in by 1 try. The one I need Tawaze to score, Rob Toya to get over as well, and I like Connor Tracy from the Dogs to score a try there. Let's jump into our first Saturday game, Super Saturday, Dolphins v Wars. Now, Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. This is a game. I need to start tipping the Warriors, boys, because I keep tipping against them and they keep winning. So I might tip them this week so that the Dolphins can win. But Harry, we'll start off with you. Who you got?
They're currently 4 games on the trot. I'm going for 5. I'm going the Wars.
Very nice.
I think the way that they've been playing lately is just pretty good for them. Like considering where they were last year, to then have this comeback this year. I think. Don't get me wrong, Suncorp is a bit of a tragic stadium for them, considering what happened last year or the year prior in the finals. Wars 1 to 12. In terms of try scorers, I got Dallin going over and Hammer.
Very good, Luke.
Up the Wars. I reckon the Wars get it done. I don't think that last week it was a good football that they've been playing. And that golden point win, that just sliding through sort of thing. I reckon the Wars get it done convincingly. I reckon for the Wars, Luke Metcalf and DWZ to score a try. And if the Dolphins can actually play some football, Jack Bostock.
Mate, Metcalf's been in great try scoring form 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
2 of the best young halves in Katoa and Metcalf taking on each other in this game. Be really good to see. Fins up, boys. I'm going the Fins. I'm hoping they can get it done here in Brisbane. I'm going to go against the Wars again. And again...
They didn't do it 2 weeks ago. So.
No. And again, insert Steve Carell from The Office. I am ready to be heard again. I'm going to go the Fins. I'm going to go the Fins in a tight one. Fins by 2. And I'll back Farnsworth, the Hammer, and, of course, Katoa to score any time. Let's jump into our second Saturday game. It's the Cowboys against the Sea Eagles. Favourite stadium, Queensland Country Bank Arena in Townsville there. Luke, let's start off with you. Who you got?
Going with the Birds. Going Manly. I think they're... I think last week in Magic Round, they were a bit...
Yeah.
This week, I reckon they get it done. I don't. The football that the Cowboys played last week against Penrith, they played 10 minutes of convincing footy, and that was it.
Yeah.
Everything else was a bit there. So I reckon Manly get it done. Manly by 6. Jason Saab to score a try.
Very nice. Harry?
I mean, realistically, I couldn't give a shit about this game. I hate both these teams with a passion. But if I have to pick a winner, I'm going to go Manly to bounce back after what happened last week. I reckon they get it done 1-12. I'm going to jump in with Luke, with Jason Saab, and Mr. Longneck, Cherry Evans, to get over.
Boys, I'm going the Cows. Ever since Cherry Evans announced he was leaving the club, the Seagulls have been absolutely shocking. I'm going the Cows in this one to win. I really like what I've seen from them over the past few weeks. I know last week was a bit, they came back and ended up being a draw, but I still like what I saw. Drinkwater to score a try, and of course Tom Dearden as well. Let's jump into our last Saturday game. It's the Sharks against the Storm. Always a good match, this one. Sharks actually have a pretty good record against Melbourne and have beaten them a couple of times. They do get into the grind. Sharks Stadium in Sydney. Luke, who you got?
Who do I pick? The team that scored 64 points, or the team that only just beat the opposition? Oh, that's a tough one, Joey.
It's the Sharks.
I go Melbourne in a flogging 30 plus. You know what? And let's go bold. Pappy for another 4.
Oh, I like it. Oh, throw on that. Man, imagine if that gets up. Harry.
Yeah, I'm going Melbourne as well, quite convincingly. In terms of try scorers, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. I've got Pappy for a hat-trick. And
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And Mulatalo to get over as well.
Very nice. Look, shout out to the Dongle, of course, our mad Sharks fan on the show. I'm going Storm as well. Storm 13 plus. Storm to absolutely demolish Cronulla. I do not like what I've seen from Cronulla the past couple of weeks, even though they have been winning. It's been scrappy wins. I think Melbourne get this done. I'm going to go to the spine to score. I'm going to go Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, and I'm pretty sure Grant will be back this week as well, so I'm going to back Grant in to score a try as well for Melbourne. Let's jump into some Sunday Arvo footy. The Bronx against the Dragons. Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Harry, $1.30 for the Broncos, $3.55 for the Dragons. Can they get it done?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Back him for Sean.
Like, the way that they've both been playing, it's hard to pick. I'm going for the upset. I'm going the Dragons.
Going the Dragons.
I'm going the Dragons in a close game. I reckon this could be the field goal game. Terms of try scorers, Shibasaki to get over.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I've butchered that name. And
that was right.
Jacob Little.
Oh, always a good shout.
He loves to score a try.
Luke, you on the same page?
Definitely. I'm on the Dragons too.
Yeah, wow.
Absolutely. The Broncos have just been shocking. And if they name Azra Man back in the squad, it's just going to derail them further. They're going to fall off. I've gone the Dragons. I'm going Dragons in a big one, 18 plus points.
Stop trying to suck up to Sean, all right?
No, I fully believe it. And I reckon for try scorers, I'm going to go Jacob Little. I love that one. I love how he's playing. Moses Sully, Tyrrell Sloan, and Big Luciano. Leilua.
Boys, in a rare occurrence, I am going the same as you, boys. I'm going the Dragons as well. Broncos in absolute shambles at the moment. And you're right. If they name Ezra Mam, I just think, imagine a crowd. Imagine a crowd. They're going to absolutely boo him. I think even the Brisbane fans are going to boo him for what happened. So I think they're already going to be on the back foot heading into this game. The Dragons have now lost 3 in a row. They're desperate for a win. They're desperate for a win. I think they're going to be hungry. Flanagan's going to have them up in this. I'm going to back Kyle Flanagan in for a try, and I'm going to back Adam Reynolds to score for the Bronx. So get your halves multi on there.
I'll tell you what, if they do name Ezra Mam, I think it's going to be open season on him. Well, I reckon Flanagan's just going to be like, look, if they've named him, take him.
Dylan Egan, the boy from Gerringong, he'll run at him.
I reckon everyone in a Dragons jersey will turn into John Wick and just target acquired.
Fair enough. Let's hope, man. Be good footy. Next game, we got the Raiders v the Titans, 4:05, GIO Stadium in Canberra. Hopefully a dry track. It's always nice in Canberra on a Sunday arvo. $1.34 for the Raiders, $3.30 for the Titans. Luke, who you got?
I didn't pick a winner. I've picked the team that's going to lose because the way that both these teams are playing, one of them's going to put points on and lose the game.
Well,
so
yeah.
my loser for this week, I think, will be the Titans.
Yeah.
I think that the Raiders could outmuscle them and get it done. But there is absolutely no confidence in that pick because it is anyone's game. Both of them in their last few weeks. I mean, the Titans did it well last week, but the week before they were shocking.
Yep.
Raiders did it well 2 weeks ago against Melbourne. Last week were shocking. So, yeah, I'm picking the Titans to lose. I'm not picking a winner.
Very nice. Harry, who you got?
I'm going on the same train. I'm picking Titans to lose as well. I can't say anything more than what Luke said. Like, the game could just go like that. Like, one team could score a shit ton of points and then choke the lead.
You got to back Huddy Young in again, hey? Third week in a row?
Yeah. I actually put him in a different multi last week and he scored finally. Yeah, Huddy Young and Jaden Campbell.
Yeah,
get
nice.
over.
Good shout. There is no way I'm tipping the Titans. It's Raiders here for me. I think they get this done. As you said, it's going to be interesting. Will the Raiders fade or will the Titans fade? So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting in this game. But I'll go Raiders. I'll go in a tight one just to keep it interesting. I'll say Raiders by 4. And a couple of try scorers. I'll go Savage, Chris, and Khan Pereira to score in this game. And final game, match of the round, West Tigers v the Rabbitohs. It's the Luke and Shani Cup. This one.
I was going to say, I think this might decide if their marriage goes on.
This is this is the engagement cup here. So we'll leave Luke to last. Harry, who you got? Choose carefully.
Sorry, Shani. I'm going to Tigers.
Oh,
I've got Tigers to bounce back. Tigers in a convincing win, I reckon. Tigers 13 plus. In terms of try scorers, Buller and Luai, both to get over.
very nice, Luke.
I thought I was last.
No, yeah, I'll
You'll go last.
Yeah, I'll go
So
last.
you'll say,
So
you'll say
Luke's-
I'll go last, but you'll go
Yeah,
last.
so Luke's going last.
I can go second if you want.
Oh, it's up to you.
Yeah, all right, I'll go. This is really hard. I do not like South Sydney one bit, but the form Latrell was in last week, it's very hard to go against him. So in saying that, I'll go the Tigers. I'll go Tigers to get it done. Tigers by 10. Terrell May for a try. Latrell for a double in this game. Lukey,
Well, I like to go bold. I do like to go bold here.
he's going south for the win.
No, I'm going to back
draw.
my boys. I'm definitely going to back my boys.
On a draw.
But I'm going bolder than I think I've ever gone. I'm going Terrell May, Alex Twal, Fanua Pole, and Keon Kaloa-Matangi.
Pole does have a little injury, so
He
we're not
does.
100%.
If he's there
Yep.
for a try.
Beautiful.
If he's not there, then Twal, May, Kaloa-Matangi. Big boys.
What are we calling it? The front rowers, the Big Boppers multi.
Exactly.
We love the
love
Big
it.
Bopper multi.
The big boy
that a lot. Do you want to look down the barrel and say something to your fiance about this game?
I do love you. I definitely love you. So much. But I want to win.
Yeah, look, we feel the same. Go the Tigers. And that's it for the Profits preview for another week. Boys, jumping into Lucky Ruckies now. Don't forget, you can send us all your best rugby league stories. It could have happened to you. It could have been something you've seen. We had an awesome one from Brett about our good mate, the Dongle, which was an absolute great story. Head back to episode 108 to check that out. You can email us at ruckinfringementpod@gmail.com or inboxes in our socials on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Send us your best story, and there are some bottle opens up for grabs. All right, boys, let's jump into talking points now. First one I had here, AOB on last leagues, and we spoke a little bit about it. 3 weeks ago, I said they'd win Magic Round, they'd lose the week after, then he'd get sacked the week after that, which is this week. I'm 2 from 3 at the moment. We'll see if he does get sacked this week, but Luke, he's got to be close.
Yeah, look, I definitely didn't think at the start of the season, I didn't think this would happen. But, yeah, the way that he's going, I mean, at one point, Desi Hasler was up there, but the Titans have confirmed he's not going anywhere. So, yeah, it'd be pretty hard to keep AOB on for a long term. I reckon he's going to go. But wasn't there something along the lines of that if they let him go now,
2 mil,
2 mil, but if he goes to the end of the year or something, they can sack him for free, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So to save yourself $2 million, do you
I
write
don't
it out
know.
for the rest of the year?
I don't think you can. I don't think the way they're playing, you can't. Like they need a clean out. They need something different. Harry, what's your take?
Yeah, I reckon he's going to be gone in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think the Knights, like the board, would just be like, yeah, we might have to just fork out the money to piss him off. Like, if he doesn't get results,
Yeah, for sure.
like he needs to go on a winning streak to save his job.
Which he won't because we've tipped the Eels to win.
Exactly.
Well, I've tipped the Knights.
Yeah,
I've
sorry.
tipped the
Oh, sorry.
Knights.
He tipped the Knights.
I'll
He's
prob-
got faith in O'Brien.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm probably going to change it. But yeah, I think if he loses in the next 2 weeks, see you later.
Yeah, I got to agree.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
League Lids are an international company selling retro corduroy sports hats to make you the envy of all your friends. Head over to League Lids and check out their array of hats today and use our discount code RUCK10 for 10% off. Wanting to go to a game but having nothing to show of your favourite player? Well, now with Sports Heads, you can bring your favourite player alongside with you. With an array of core flute cutouts, Sports Heads have all your favourite players from every team covered. Custom designs are also available. Visit Sports Heads on their socials or at their website today and use the code RUCK10 for 10% off now.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
Boys, the next up, I got Dom Young and Cheese gone effective immediately. Now, it's come out today, not so true about Dom Young.
Yeah.
Cheese is gone effective immediately, had a medical with the Rabbitohs today, and if he passes, he could be there tomorrow. So could play in the next few weeks once he is back fit. But the Dom Young saga has really, really intrigued me because 2 weeks ago, I think it was the Anzac Day match, he didn't play. He got dropped for that for Mark Nwangani-Tawaze, who has been in better form and has been playing great on the wing. And I said to you guys at the start of the season, Dom Young is just such a liability because he rushes up. He's a fantastic attacking player, but his defense just lacks in that area. And as a winger, you got to be on your line. You can't keep rushing up. I think it was the Rabbitohs game that really did it when Latrell threw that cutout pass and Dom Young was 10 metres up the field.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you just, as a winger, you can't be doing that. So it's really interesting there because the Roosters, Robbo came out today and said that the Roosters do want to keep him. There's been no talk. It was actually the Knights that approached the Chooks.
Yeah.
And apparently, yeah, Newcastle have approached the Roosters, said, we got interest in Dom Young. And the Roosters said, well, if you want him, you can have him. And then they said, well, we want you to pay a portion. And Robbo said, well, that's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which I do agree. I do agree. You know, if you're coming to us, the Roosters didn't have any intention on selling him, but if you're coming to us, then you're paying for it.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. So he apparently sat down with Dom. He spoke with him and said, mate, you're still on contract till 2027. So good to hear. Hopefully Dom, he's been killing it in the New South Wales Cup, as they always do.
Yeah.
Scoring tries for fun. But we know what he can do. We know what he possesses. Last year he was one of the top try scorers in the NRL. We were just lucky that we were in the top four. So
Yeah.
his liabilities in defence, we still had that cover. This year, not so much. But interesting one there. Like you are a
I think it should be the
liability.
punishment part. The punishment hat.
Oh, I like it.
Whoever has the worst tips for the week should wear
Yes, beautiful. Jeez, I'll be wearing it this week for 3. And yeah, of course, the cheese. I think it's a good signing for South Sydney. We know what he did at Melbourne, just didn't emulate that at the Chooks.
this. Sell his premiership ring for beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still respect that, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. You'd do the same thing, wouldn't you, Harry?
Oh, 100%. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
But I think Cheese came to the Roosters and he's not a hooker. And that's been the biggest talking point from everyone is that he's not a hooker. And playing him at 9 just didn't work. You need him at a 13 or a 14, in my opinion. And I think the Rabbitohs are going to do that. He's come out and
He
said
doesn't want 14 though because he wants a starting role.
maybe a 13. I mean, Murray's out, but when Murray comes back, can you move Murray to the second row? Can you keep him there? Murray's your best 13 in the club. So,
I reckon, honestly, in my opinion, I reckon Murray's one injury away from retirement.
yeah.
I reckon 100%.
Yeah.
I seen something a few weeks back. Apparently, his recovery's just got more complicated. It's gone.
Oh, not
I think it's
good.
gone worse. Like I think he had to have another emergency surgery.
He's
or
already
something.
out for this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But look, it's a good pickup if he can emulate that form that he showed at Melbourne. I didn't like his comments about saying that, he didn't know what was happening and the club never called him. Blah blah blah. The club was on a bye,
Yeah.
so they were out doing watching SG ball and recovery and everything. And like he apparently had called the club and they hadn't called him back to tell him what was happening. He obviously knew. If he had a medical with South Sydney, he obviously knew something was happening. So you're not just rocking up for a medical going, where am I?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure he was actually on. I can't remember what
The buy
podcast.
round with James Graham.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was talking about like the whole money side of it, and I'm pretty sure he mentioned that like he was happy to go, but use that money to invest in like
Blake
Blake
Steep.
Steep, like all the young guns that they've brought up and
Yeah.
have been killing it in first grade.
And that's what Robbo actually said today in that press conference about the Dom Young stuff. Is he said, we've got no intention of selling Dom. And then he said, and the Cherry Evans thing, we haven't even spoken to Cherry Evans' manager.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, we want our money for the young guys. So,
Rothfield's lied again.
well, I don't know because
Did he open his mouth? He lied.
Yeah.
who knows with Buzz.
Exactly.
It'd be interesting the Daily Cherry Evans thing because I still think it is done at the Chooks. I think he's there next year. He has told the Dolphins that he wants to stay in Sydney, and there was only one other club that was
willing to
buy him, and that was the Chooks. So I think Robbo's just being a bit tactical, but I think there is definitely money there for Blake Steep. He's been incredible. The other one that he mentioned was Savala.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk about Hugo Savala potentially being moved on. He said that's not the case. He said Savala's manager hasn't approached them at all. He said he's really happy with how Hugo's going, and he's killing it at the moment. He's doing really good. So
Keeping the GOAT Chad Townsend out of a spot too.
oh, chatty. He's carving up in New South Wales Cup, mate.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. He'll make a return in a couple of years. Let's jump into our next talking point, boys. I've got a weird-looking ladder. Now, that's why we called this week's episode Upside Down, because the Bulldogs, Raiders, and Warriors tend to not be in the top four. The last time the Dogs and Raiders were in the top four together was 1994. And so it's been a long time. The Warriors, I don't think I've seen them in the top four for a long time.
2023.
Oh, yes. Did they finished fourth?
I predicted it too, by the way.
Oh, look at you go, hey. So definitely interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's a weird looking ladder this year. Boys, the other talking point we've got, are the Bulldogs the real deal? Now, a couple of weeks ago before the Broncos game, a lot of people said they haven't beaten the top team. You know, are they flat track bullies? Like, what's going on with the Dogs? They then lost to the Broncos. Everyone went, oh, they're not a top team. They now beat the Raiders, scored 32 points in one half. What do you reckon? Are they the real deal?
Yeah. If they keep this form up, the Dogs will play grand final this year.
Yeah.
It all just comes down to that mentality when you get to the finals. Can you keep it going?
Yeah, for sure.
They can. Whether they will or not is a very different story.
100%.
But I don't see the Dogs are currently sitting outright first, like you said. At worst, I see them finishing the regular season fourth place. At absolute worst.
I agree. They got to. I reckon they're top four for sure. Harry, can they do it?
I reckon they can. But I think the real test would be when they verse Storm. I think at the moment, like, yes, Storm have had a few rough games. I still think Storm are the team to beat this year.
Yep.
If they can knock off Storm, then you can solidify the fact that they're the real deal. They're not here to, fuck spiders. They're here to play footy, play finals footy, and
And they've got to keep winning games because, against the Roosters outfit this week, they might be complacent and go, they're not doing crash hot this year, but look at what we did to Penrith, when Penrith did that. So I think they can't switch off. They need to, if the Dogs want to be a threat, they need to be a threat every week.
they need to put their foot on the gas pedal and just go for it.
Exactly. Completely agree. Well, that's it for talking points, boys. Let's do a bit of Origin chat. Oh, you got one for us?
I did just look up when the Dogs play the Storm.
When is it?
Round 25.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
3 weeks before finals.
Wow. How good's that?
2 weeks technically, 26
Yeah.
and 27. That will be a Friday night game at 8 p.m.
Pencil that into your calendars because that's going to be an absolute ripper.
I did have one more talking point as well before you go. I saw it on the Code Sports or something on Facebook the other day. Sharkies could be in a bit of trouble here because with all the money they spent out of their salary cap, it is reported they can only afford to offer Will Kennedy $300,000.
Oh, wow.
That
Kennedy's gone. He'll go to another club.
That could be a very big turn of events for the
Could be.
Cronulla Sharks.
Do you want to hear my take? I reckon I know where he's going to go. Newcastle, because Ponga wants out of the club. He could go to Newey, play fullback there. Ponga comes to the Chooks.
And then, but where does it leave Cronulla though? What are they doing?
Oh, who knows?
You know who
Nico to fullback.
you know who I was thinking actually after I read it, and I was like, well, the only one I could see playing fullback, Stone Street.
Yeah,
I reckon he'd be
alright.
I reckon he'd be a gun fullback.
Yeah, for sure.
I reckon he could be like an early hammer style sort of thing, just under the high ball, like, balls to the wall, going
Yeah.
at every single ball.
He's tall too. He's
Exactly.
Got the
He's got the height on him, and he's got the pace. Like, he can run.
and you need a spot for Katoa.
Exactly. So I reckon.
not a bad shout.
I reckon Kennedy out. Stone Street will be the first.
It's not a bad
gunner.
shout, but the Ponga to Roosters is really growing momentum at the moment, and I think it was I heard Andrew Webster was talking this morning, and they said, could Kennedy potentially go to the Knights? Ponga leaving, and he said the Ponga to Roosters thing is not just a rumor, like it's apparently
Done.
getting done almost. So
Yeah.
they're probably looking at 2027. He's really good mates with Connor Watson as well. And then if that does happen, I mean, Kennedy, he'd probably go all right at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be too bad. I mean, he's not a bad fullback. I just think
He's in the top 4 for.
He's definitely
fucking
not
Dally M
300,000.
He's in the top 4 for Dally M at the moment. so-
well, that's it.
He's definitely worth more than 300,000 as well.
Oh, 100%.
I reckon he's about
100%.
what, 550?
Yeah,
6?
yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you're going to pay that for a fullback, that's good.
Exactly.
They talk about fullback money these days, which is 900 to $1 million. So, you're definitely paying unders there, which is good. Boys, bit of Origin chat. Now, 1 to 7, Harry and I talked a little bit about this last week. Has your team changed at all from what we spoke about?
Well, this all depends on if Laurie Daly sticks to his word of picking players on form.
Yep.
If he's picking players on form, I hate to say it, but I think Edwards is on the chopping block.
Yeah.
It's realistically between Pappenhausen and Teddy.
I would love to see Pappenhausen have a run. I really would.
I think he deserves the shot,
100%. 100%.
especially the way that he's been playing yes, he's been played with injuries, but the way that he's been playing, especially this season, I think he's well earned a shot at it.
Well, we spoke about it last week. As a Roosters fan this year, I don't want Teddy there. We need him. We need him over Origin this year. So I'd love to see Pappenhausen at fullback. Anyone else? Zach Lomax apparently is back this week too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to go Kiraz.
Kiraz has been playing good footy.
I think he's probably got himself a spot. It just depends on, are they really gonna run the risk with Lomax only just coming back the week of?
I think they will. They did that with Moses last year in Origin, didn't they?
Yeah,
And then he led us to victory. So
yeah, but you're comparing Lomax to Moses.
Very true.
My other winger Toto, I still think he stays.
Oh yeah, I agree.
He had a cracker of a game on Saturday as well.
I think if we're looking positional based, and we did this, I think it was last year or the year before, you and I were talking about if we picked an Origin team based on
Position
just their
only,
position
yeah.
only. This year, there's not really anyone playing out of position. I think centers, Tommy's not going to get picked. I don't think Turbo gets picked. So, Latrell would be out of position, but he has played there this year.
Yeah.
So, mate, if you were looking at a 1 to 7 right now for Origin, who would you have?
My one is a bit. How are you going? I agree with Harry. I think Edwards is on the outer because he just has been he's not been
Just
himself.
Penrith season this year.
Yeah, he's just not been himself. So my two top runners there would be Tedesco and Pappenhausen. Whilst I think Pappenhausen does have X factor, he is very injury prone.
True. Very true.
And I think Daly will go for pick experience.
Yeah.
So I think Tedesco is going to get the spot.
Yep.
Doesn't mean Pappenhausen won't get a squad spot.
Oh, 100%.
But I think Tedesco will be the number one fullback. My number 2, I'd go Toto. I think he deserves that spot. My number 3, Stephen Crichton. I'd have them next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have that height advantage as well. So I'd have those two there. My number 4, I think they're going to lean towards Latrell, even though I don't want it. I don't like it being out of position and stuff.
So between Latrell, Bradman, and Turbo.
I wouldn't pick Turbo at all because he will snap an ankle in 5 minutes and we'll be down to centre. So I wouldn't be picking Turbo.
It's all right. Cook can play there.
And I don't think Best has had such a good...
Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Best has been having that good of a season. Like,
No.
he's been playing good footy, but
He hasn't been the best.
he hasn't been standout. So I think it's going to be Latrell and Crichton. On the wing, I'm picking Carraz.
Yeah.
I would pick Carraz if that was my job. He's just been absolutely stellar. And then you've also got... You could go Toto and Crichton next to each other, or you could have Carraz and Critic together because aren't they
Yeah,
on the same
exactly.
side
I believe so, yeah.
for the doggies? So, yeah. My number 6, again, I don't
Tough
know.
one.
This is a very tough one. I don't think Luai has done anything wrong to lose his spot
No, 100%.
this year. I absolutely don't. But like you, I don't want him to go because I'd rather him play for the Tigers. However, it doesn't actually really matter to me because the first 2 Origin games, that's the week the Tigers have the bye.
Oh, good.
So I'd actually want Luai playing there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's going to do. I'd pick Luai over Moses. And then I think Cleary will hold his number 7.
It's so hard, isn't it? The Cleary v Moses or Luai v Moses debate, because what Moses did last year to win us the series was incredible. And
It
then,
was incredible,
but
100%.
I am leaning towards what you're saying with Luai as well, because he's been there, he's done it, and he's shown what he can do this year. He came to this Tigers outfit. Everyone said he's not a halfback, blah, 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 blah. He's led this team, and he's led this team well. And
Exactly. We're up 9 spots on the
That's
ladder. We're up 8 spots on the ladder.
Yep.
And if you really need to look at his resume, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, all next to Nathan Cleary.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it speaks for itself. You know, that's his resume right there.
Yep.
4 fingers, 4 rings. What do you do?
Completely agree, mate.
I've got an outrageous shout. I've got a very outrageous shout.
Do I
Tell
need
us.
to take my slide off again?
No, you do not. So if they want to go Cleary, Moses, Luai, have all 3 of them in the squad. Now hear me out.
If you say Luai on the bench, I am going to smack you.
Shut your face.
Moses at 9.
No.
Tommy Turbo at front row.
No. Connor Watson to start. Luai at 14. Because
I just said put Luai on the bench and he went, no, I won't
what's
say that.
Watson at 6?
Watson at 9. Moses at 6. Cleary 7. Watson starts at 9.
It's a stretch. It's a
It's a very
stretch.
big stretch.
Hey, and then Luai comes off
I mean,
the
funny
bench.
things have happened.
Comes off the bench. Worst case scenario, you could chuck Luai at in the hooker,
Yeah.
and then if one of the halves isn't working, you chuck him to.
I actually think Watson's versatility plays him into the perfect 14, because I don't think, I know he starts at the Roosters, but that's because we don't have a genuine 9. But at Origin level, I think Robson can hold his spot at 9. He hasn't been that great this year.
I'd be dropping him 100%.
Yeah, but I could see him holding his spot based on Watson's versatility at 14. I don't think they want to start Watson for that versatility, because he can play hooker, 5'8", half.
Yeah.
He can play all around. Coruscant's another good shout for hooker. Hooker's going to be another interesting one, isn't it? Because Robson's the incumbent. We know Coruscant's a fantastic Origin player. Or do you start Watson? You know, and then that gives you the likes of maybe bringing in a Matt Burton at 14, or you know, even Pappenhausen off the bench, you know, as what he did for Melbourne for so many years. But
That's my bold prediction.
love
Luai
it.
at 14.
I love it. Look, it's
You're going
bold.
to get
It's
smacked
bold.
the second the camera's turned off.
If you are tuning in, we will drop our teams very soon, a couple of weeks' time. I think the Origin team gets named next Sunday.
Yeah.
So we will do it before that. We'll drop our teams and we'll see how close we get. It's going to be exciting. Boys, let's talk a little bit of around the grounds. Now, rumours and signings that I've heard over the past couple of weeks. An interesting one. Now, this keeps gaining traction, and I don't know what you're going to think about this, but it's about Cleary heading to the Super League. Now, over the past couple of weeks, it's gaining more and more traction, and hear me out, the reason, not just Mary being over in England, of course, his fiance now, or still just girlfriend?
I think he's still girlfriend.
I think still girlfriend. But also, because of the NRL wanting to buy the Super League, they're talking about players of Cleary's caliber then going over and being able to, you know, set the standard over there. And once the NRL take control of it, the game will be better. But also, he's already achieved everything in the NRL. He's achieved it all. He's won 4 comps. He's won for Australia. He's won for New South Wales. Like, maybe he might just go, I'll go for the pay packet. It's a stretch, but from what I'm hearing is that he is definitely weighing it up.
I mean, as a Panthers fan, I wouldn't want to see him go.
Oh, no,
but
no, for sure. As a fan of the game, you don't want to see him go.
if the opportunity arises and he thinks it's what's best for him,
Yeah.
by all means, go for it. But let's just hope that's just a
rumor.
a very big rumor
Yeah,
that is just created by Buzz Rothfield. But yeah, I don't see him leaving Penrith anytime soon. When he gets closer to the end of his career, potentially. But I think for now, he still stays at Penrith.
What do you think, Luke? Could it happen?
Nah, I reckon he's set.
Yeah, nice.
I don't think he's going to move anywhere. His brother's just gone overseas to New Zealand.
Warriors, yeah.
And I think Jet's a good enough prospect that we may see him on first grade soil
Yeah.
in a couple of years. So I don't see Cleary going anywhere until he gets the opportunity to play against his brother or
I
with
reckon-
his brother if
yeah,
he
it's-
returns.
I reckon Jed will come back to Penrith. I reckon he'll go a couple of years at the Warriors, learn his trade, and then he'll come back 6 and 7
There
at
you go.
Penrith, Jet and Nath.
Exactly.
Hey, how
So,
good.
They're either going to play against each other
Yeah.
or with each other, and I don't see Cleary going anywhere
Yeah,
before
for
that.
sure. Well, that's the only rumor I've got for us at the moment. Nothing more at the moment.
This is going to pain me to say, but has anyone seen the whole controversy in the Panthers-Cowboys game?
About the ball,
About
letting
the
the
ball.
ball.
Well,
Elford.
yes, I
Elford.
have.
Yeah.
You know, there's actually footage
There's-
of the Cowboys
Cowboys
doing it
one
first.
too, yeah.
That's what I was leaning towards.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess-
I didn't have any issue with it. I just,
Once I saw the Cowboys doing it first,
Yeah.
and then obviously Elford's done it as well. I was like, I'd only seen the Elford one,
yeah.
so I was like, oh, it's a bit slack, but what can you do? I'd be pretty annoyed if that's what happened to my team.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would be
Yeah.
because it is intentionally trying to cheat and change the
Yeah,
conditions of the ball.
true.
However, they done it first, so
Yeah.
if they want to sit there and complain, well then just show them the footage and be like, calm as a bitch. So
Apparently, when the Cowboys went to do it, they presented the wet ball, and Todd Smith, the ref, said, "You can't play with that. That's wet."
yeah, right.
So he called it out first, and then that's when they changed it. So yeah, they got a dry ball.
Right.
So they tried to play. The Cowboys tried to play with the wet ball, and then Todd Smith saw it and said, "You can't. It's wet."
well, I mean, it also doesn't help that they do it right on the halfway line where fucking Todd
Yeah,
Smith is standing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Like at least do it like the cricketers do. Get some sandpaper, mate. Hey,
Yeah,
in the
hide
pocket.
it in your pants or something, up your skins.
Oh
What do we
well.
think of the
Ballgate.
drink water touch? Do we think he touched it?
That's a hard one, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, he probably does.
I think, like
I
personally,
haven't seen it enough. I need to look at it again.
in slow mo, it definitely looks like he touched it.
Yeah.
But I reckon it should have been called, and hear me out. I reckon it should have been called and left up to the Cowboys to challenge it.
Was that the one with his foot?
Yeah, on the provisor, on the evidence that he stuck his foot out.
Yeah.
If he did not move his feet and it looked close, benefit of the doubt because he didn't try to go for it. He clearly tried putting his foot there. So I think Todd Smith should have called it and then let the Cowboys challenge it. I do think that one was a wrong call.
I think
Because
live. I thought he did because
Yeah.
it was Reese's 30th on the Saturday night. We were watching the game, and I think live. I think I said, "Oh, Drinky's touched it."
Yeah, and he's off, and then he's offside.
Yeah, but-
and it's not accidental too because he dives on the ball.
Yeah. So I think live I did, mate. I was with you.
Yeah, I do think he's touched it, but I'm just going to sound like a sulky fucking Panthers fan, but
Well, we agree though.
yeah, which is very rare. It's up to interpretation, really.
It's
Like,
hard. It's a hard one.
It's like a flip of a coin. Some
Yeah.
people think he touched it, some people he didn't.
In saying
Like,
that, I am so surprised that Cleary didn't kick a field goal. I mean,
Well,
he's the clutch. He's the
did you hear about Kenny?
yeah, I seen
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
going the blind side. He wasn't supposed to.
No.
No,
What the
wasn't
bloke
when he went-
what the bloke messaged, like some random bloke messaged him afterwards.
Said if you cost me
Oh.
$1 trillion,
Yeah,
bucks, called him the C word about 15
Oh wow,
times.
no, I didn't know that.
You're a fucking hog and everything.
Kenny had the best response.
Yeah, Kenny, and so he's like, "You've just cost me $1 trillion," and Kenny's response was, "Send me your bank details, bro. I'll just transfer you the $1 trillion."
I heard today apparently like you could see how frustrated Cleary was because there was one set in that golden point where Kenny went blindside, went short side instead of going to Cleary, and Cleary was like you could see he was visibly frustrated at that point.
Mum said there was something on the Panthers like NRL page or one of the fan pages or something where it said that someone from within the club said that he went blindside because he spotted that you couldn't see on the camera a charging Cowboy.
Right.
And he thought that the Cowboy was going to get to Cleary before he could get the kickoff.
Yeah.
And that's why he went blindside, but you couldn't see it in the camera or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's why that his
Cleary
decision
wasn't happy.
yeah, no. But he's on one of the occasions, don't know about all the others, but on one of the occasions where it was very evident you should have gone to Cleary and he's gone blindside, someone from within the club come out and said that there was a Cowboy charging which no one could see, and he didn't want Cleary to be smashed before getting the ball. Sort of thing.
That's fair. Well, that's fair then.
But that's
look,
only justification for one. So.
yeah, for sure. Moving on from that saga, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we're going to play a bit of Joey's Jumble before we finish up. Now, if we're going through points, Harry, you're on 6.5 points. You're in the lead. Ryan's on 6. Josh the Saint on 6. Luke on 3, but he hasn't been here, so he can get 3 from 3 today and be right up there.
He probably will.
Probably
to be
will.
honest.
And of course, producer Reese on 0.5 point.
Yeah. He should just get 0.1 of a point every week.
0.1, yeah.
0.1 of a point.
See how many you can get by the end of the season. All right, you want to test your buzzers? Test your buzzer, please.
Luke.
Test your buzzer.
I just did.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Very good. Okay, the first question. What was the name of the man that kicked the 40-point field goal?
Harry.
40-meter field goal, sorry.
Well, you said your buzzer was Luke, so I went
He
with the
said
opposite.
Harry.
Ah.
I think he gets it first.
Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, 1
48 metres out.
Wait,
Beautiful.
so are we actually doing your buzzers, Harry, and mine's Luke?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
why
you,
not?
you stole
Why not?
my
Alright,
name, so
do
I'm
it.
stealing
Why
yours.
not?
All right, second question. Are we ready?
Yep.
Yep.
What was the name of the stadium that the first draw was held this season?
Luke.
Harry. You bastard.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Oh, he's all over it. That's 1-1. Here we go. Last question. See who wins this week. I'm going to make it a tough one.
Lucky you got that because I knew it was in Townsville, but I didn't know the stadium name.
Our favourite stadium.
I was going to
mate.
say Townsville. So I'm glad you got that one.
I probably would have given it anyway. I'm pretty generous. All right, last question. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I love how he's sitting forward for this too.
I'm
Yeah, it's
prepared.
good. On the edge of your seat. So you should be. What position are the Broncos now sitting on the ladder?
Luke.
Yes, Luke.
They are.
We need to check this.
I'm just picturing it. They are. We're 10th. Are they 8th or 9th? They are 9th.
They are not 9th, Harry.
6th?
They are not 6th. Oh, we have to go to another question.
Yeah.
They're 7th
Oh,
at the moment. Roosters are 9th. All right.
Fuck.
One more question.
Yeah.
Actually, I might do a ladder again. That was good. Where are the St. George Illawarra
Luke.
Dragons sitting? Oh, he's in first. Luke, what do you think, mate,
Tigers.
on the ladder?
They were. Oh, they are. If I get it missed by one, I'm going to cry. Are they 13th?
They are. Luke wins Joey's Jumble. 2-1. Beautiful
and now
job,
Ezra's
mate.
awake.
Nah, they're fine.
What do you mean? He's up in Queensland trying to get in the team list
Yeah,
this week.
exactly. Fantastic. Of course, Luke now moves up to 5 points straight away. Harry, you got 1, so you moved to 7.5. You are still in the lead,
Yep.
which is fantastic. No viewer questions for this week. Don't forget, get your questions in when the post does drop on social media. But that's all we got time for on the Ruck Infringer podcast for another week. So thank you for tuning in. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Of course, my co-hosts this evening in Harry and Luke. And of course, you, the listener, thank you for tuning in. You are what makes this podcast what it is. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube as well. Until next time, that's Luke. That's Harry. I'm Joey. Be good.